This is Shelia. She asked me.
What?
She asked me before she got up, could we take a break?
Potty break.
That was
Been
asked.
sitting up here for a little while.
That was asked for a lot on the record.
Yes, lots of potty breaks. Okay. I want to talk about willingness. I mean, all of us were willing to do some things. I mean, we were willing to give up being here, to go on this trip, to put in the financials that we needed to leave our comfort and go somewhere where we didn't really know what to expect. But there were specific things that I noticed along the trip that people were willing to do. There's a picture of Judy and Robin washing our clothes in the shower.
In the room I got locked in.
Yes. We had a few adventures with people getting locked in rooms and out of rooms. That was fun. We had Butch. Butch was willing to be changed. I know that he's told me that now that he's seen it, he can't go back. Andy and Bobby, they talked about it. They were willing to share their vacation and their family to let us be a part of it. Ted and Judy, they were available to teach. They were there to just kind of hold our hands, to pray, to kind of guide us along. Whatever we needed, they were both willing to just step in and say, okay, let's do it. You started this. Bree was willing to step out in her faith. Last year at camp, she made the decision to go into full-time missions. That's what she wants to do. This was her first step in that direction. Nance, as you heard, she's willing to get us organized and to keep us on track and to keep track of all the little details that most of us didn't even think about or want to think about, some of us. Brianna Wolf and David, they were willing to come and be a part of a group. They didn't know us at all. They had no idea what they were walking into. And some of these guys are a little crazy. Not pointing any fingers. Dave was even roomed with Matt, so that was an interesting combination. But they were willing to put themselves out there and to do, just be a part of a group. Robin and Trace, they were willing to sponsor a trial. And Trace and Nathan and Natalie, all three of them, were just amazing in interacting with the kids and being a part of it. Pete, he was our liaison through AMG, and just to be willing to come and teach us and try to get us prepared for what we might face, to kind of give us the idea, and also at the end to say, okay, now that this is over, you got to transition back into the life that you had before, but it's not going to be the same. And he was willing to work with all of us, which was just, we all have our moments. Brother Matt, he was willing to lead. I know he does it here, but just to see him go outside of here and to be ready to listen, to stay up all night, to pray, I don't know how many sermons he wrote while he was there. He was inspired by everything that happened to show us, okay, you can do this. Here, you go here, you do that. Whatever it was, he was just willing to jump in and do it. Margarita, she was willing to interpret. Eddie and Isaac, which were our van drivers, you saw the traffic. That was crazy. It was crazy driving there. I'm always a little nervous when I get in the car with my sister because she likes to drive this close to people. She has nothing on Peruvians, nothing at all. You know, yeah, it was crazy because they're like this close on both sides and 5 lanes where there should only be 3 lanes. And what are stop signs for? Nothing in Peruvia, you know. The Hetzel family, I mean, they welcomed us. Richard and Krista and Natalie and Nathan, I mean, they just took us in like we were family. They opened their home, they opened their hearts, and it was amazing. For me, I had to be willing to let go. Let go of what I had here in my comfortable life. And I didn't have to be in control. I didn't have to know everything that was going to happen or how it was going to happen. I didn't even take my cell phone with me, which was amazing relief now that I know I can do that. I've learned I can turn it off even when I'm here. It's pretty freeing. But, oh, I forgot Amanda. Amanda was our chew toy. I'll take a minute to explain that. When we were at the day center, these kids, they just kind of climbed on her and tugged her around and flipped her this way and that way and whatever. So we just kind of called her the chew toy because when their bus or van was a little late getting there and we had to do that, we're like, gosh, where is she? Because, yeah, and the day she was sick, it's hard work to let kids climb on you. And I've done it before, but I've kind of gotten out of that. That's why I work with teenagers. They don't climb on you anymore. For the most part. There are a few. Pastor Avalon and his family and his daughters were there and they worked with us. They interpreted, one of them interpreted for when Matt preached that Sunday morning. The national workers, the ladies that were there daily, I mean, they're willing to do this all the time. To be there, to cook for these kids, to talk to them. I mean, we were only there for 10 days, but they're willing to do it all the time. So what stood out to me was just having a willingness to do whatever you're called to do. It may not be going on a mission trip. It might be supporting somebody so they can go. It might be praying for the team as they go. It might be something else. Your call may be right here in this church, or it might be somewhere else. It's just being willing to follow wherever you're called. And that's what we tried to do.